Within the Edo shogunate, an organization existed with powers far exceeding modern law. Why was the Hitsuke Tozoku Aratame permitted to do anything they wished? From arrest and interrogation to torture and execution, they could carry out everything based on their own judgment. But, in truth, an even more astonishing reality was hidden beneath this. What exactly was the special privilege they possessed? In this video, we will explain why the Hitsuke Tozoku Aratame came into being, the terrifying reality of their enforcement, and why their ruthless authority was permitted. Now, let us approach that truth. In the main feature, we will also delve into their investigation methods, which are unimaginable by modern standards. The city of Edo was constantly exposed to the threats of fire and robbery. Great fires, in particular, would consume the entire city once they erupted. The massive city of Edo, with a population exceeding 1 million, was simultaneously plagued by widespread poverty, leading many vagrants and ronin to turn to crime. The ordinary police organizations of the time, the Mashibujo, were simply insufficient to deal with these organized, heinous crimes. The Great Fire of Mairiki in 1657 burned down over half of Edo, prompting the shogunate to demand drastic security measures. For reconstruction from the fires and maintaining public order, the shogunate established a new position with specially enhanced authority, the Hitsuke Tozoku Aratame. Initially a temporary post, its immense effectiveness led to its permanent establishment, becoming the cornerstone of Edo's public safety. The head of the Hitsuke Tozoku Aratame was called Aratamyaku, and was granted status and power comparable to a typical daimyo. They operated outside the jurisdiction of the Mashibujo, functioning as an independent organization directly under the shogunate. They were truly a superlegal entity. While ordinary Bugyo had to await a Bugyo's verdict even after apprehending arsonists and robbers, the Hitsuke Tozoku Aratame was different. The Aratamyaku held complete authority, from arrest to the execution of sentences. So, what was the terrifying structure of their organization? Under the Hitsuke Tozoku Aratame were the Yuriki and Dashin. They formed the operational force, sweeping through Edo's underworld. It is said that many Dashin, in particular, were chosen from lower-class individuals, or even former criminals. Why was such recruitment carried out? Crimes of that era were such that, without deep familiarity with Edo's underworld, one couldn't even grasp a clue. Therefore, the knowledge and experience of former criminals were utilized. Enormous rewards were promised to them, providing compensation commensurate with their dangerous duties. That was their greatest motivation. Unlike ordinary samurai, Yuriki and Dashin valued practical ability over social status. They wielded immense influence throughout the city of Edo. The official residence of the Hitsuke Tozoku Aratame was even equipped with its own prison and torture chambers. There was no need to go through the regular Bugyo. They could apprehend suspects without a warrant, and informants, regardless of status, were paid substantial rewards. Furthermore, their investigations extended beyond just arsonists and robbers, encompassing all kinds of crimes, such as gambling and smuggling. Truly, for Edo's underworld, the Hitsuke Tozoku Aratame was a symbol of terror. So what exactly did their ruthless enforcement entail? They would apprehend anyone they deemed a suspect, even without evidence, and attempted to extract confessions through interrogation. These interrogations were unimaginable by modern standards. The interrogations of the Hitsuke Tozoku Aratame were extremely severe. It was not uncommon for various forms of torture to be employed to force confessions. Torture causing physical pain, such as water pressing, mizuzime, and stone holding, ishidaki, was openly practiced, psychologically cornering suspects. Furthermore, deterrent executions like crucifixion, haritsuke, and public display of heads, sarashikubi, were frequently used, functioning as a preventative measure against crime. Their investigations were swift, deploying spies throughout Edo to gather intelligence and constantly monitor the movements of criminals. Those arrested were almost certainly deemed guilty. Means of proving innocence were extremely limited. Due to their ruthlessness, many Aratamyaku were feared as oni or demons. However, it is also true that their severity maintained public order in Edo. Hasegawa Heizo Nobutame, who was active during the mid-Edo period, was precisely such a figure, renowned as Onaihira. He served as the Hitsuke Tozoku Aratame from 1787 to 1795, apprehending numerous heinous criminals and striking fear into the hearts of Edo's populace. Hasegawa Heizo is fondly remembered today through Onaihira Hankacho. However, his true character often differed significantly from the fictionalized accounts. He also possessed a compassionate side, not merely being a demon, as evidenced by his establishment of the Ninsaku Yoshiba, a vocational training facility, as a measure against poverty. However, his stance against crime was consistently strict, and his interrogation methods were merciless. This, too, was a true aspect of his character. Even the humane arrests depicted in Onaihira Hankacho had the ruthless reality of the Hitsuke Tozoku Aratame at their core. To dismantle groups of arsonists and robbers, he sometimes undertook dangerous operations, even sending his own subordinates undercover as spies. As a result, Edo's public order dramatically improved, and the lives of citizens became safer. However, the cost was also immense. The era of the Hitsuke Tozoku Aratame was indispensable for maintaining public order in Edo. So, let us explore the true nature of why such an organization was permitted. The reason for the creation of the Hitsuke Tozoku Aratame was the extremely severe problems facing Edo at the time, the threats of fire and heinous crime. Faced with a situation that ordinary legal systems couldn't handle, the shogunate judged that a special organization, granted full authority on an emergency basis, was necessary. From a modern perspective, their terrifying enforcement could be seen as a violation of human rights. However, in the society of that time, it was considered a necessary evil. It was also a manifestation of the shogunate's strong will to prioritize the safety and order of ordinary citizens by thoroughly eliminating criminals. The ruthless reality was permitted because the legal system of the time differed greatly from modern systems, placing the maintenance of overall social order above individual rights. In an era where law and order were fragile, it cannot be denied that a powerful organization like the Hitsuke Tozoku Aratame brought a certain degree of stability. By understanding their ruthless reality, we in the modern era can be reminded of how precious the rule of law truly is. The existence of the Hitsuke Tozoku Aratame might have been the ultimate public safety organization, born from the demands of its era and society.
History still hides untold stories. Subscribe for more forgotten history.